introduction, right? What is human geography? Human geography explores the relationship between human societies and Earth's surface. So it is basically man environment, as I discussed. That human geography explores the relationship between human societies and Earth's surface. How we relate to the Earth's surface. It is integrative. Integrative का मतलब क्या है? Right? It is not static. Right? It is integrative, synthesizing, empirical. So it is based on evidence. Empirical का मतलब क्या होता है? What is empirical? The word, it is very widely used in government and public policy. Empirical or research, right? Empirical evidence, right? So it is through research, objective evidence, facts. It is integrative, empirical, and practical. Because when you study the interrelationship between man and environment, it has direct practical applications, right? Direct practical applications. Studying phenomena that vary across space and time. So, when we say man-environment relationship, as I have discussed till now, and we have said that if you look at the map of India, in certain locations, environment will be dominant, certain locations, humans will have a lot of choice. So, it is across space and across time. Why across time? Because the technology goes on changing in a particular civilization. The technology goes on changing as per time. Yes or no? So human adaptation changes as per time. Getting the point? That is why this integrative, empirical, practical study, right? It studies phenomena that vary across space and time. Geography includes both physical and human components which are deeply intertwined. So when you say geography, see, that is the basic understanding. When you say geography, it is not like, there is sociology, psychology, आपने ये नाम सुने हैं. Every such humanities, most of the humanities, they end with this logy, the study of society, study of why it is geography. It is not logy. Geology bhi hai. But geology and geography are different. What is the difference between the two? Geology studies Earth's interior, Earth and its interior. It has nothing to do with human adaptation. Geology को कोई फर्क नहीं पड़ता humans कैसे रह रहे हैं या why a particular thing is happening. Geology will just study geology. What is geography? It is integrative in different societies. Now, for example, how we live with nature is different in South Asia, in Scandinavia, in Americas, in Indonesian rainforest, Amazonian rainforest. Yes or no? So everywhere, human relationship with their surrounding nature is different, right? Across space and time. So this includes both physical. So geography studies the physical environment, but it also studies human component in that environment and the relationship between the two. Clear? That is human geography. Next. Now, the names of the thinkers may not be necessary, but this is geography. मैंने कहीं भी एक भी sentence इधर से उधर से नहीं उठाया. It is basic abstract to NCERTs only. Why this is necessary? See, 12th standard का NCERT है, right? I don't know. You have read all the NCERTs or you are reading now? पढ़ लिया या पढ़ने चल रहा है? Okay. So, do you go class-wise? Yes. What are the standards जो NCERTs you are asked to read? 6th, 7th, 8th, 9th. कहाँ से शुरू करेंगे? 6th से? No, this was necessary. I'll say simple. It is 9 to 12. You're not supposed. I mean, you can if you want, but कुछ नहीं उसके पहले. Everything is included later. So 9 to 12 is most important, which is relevant from the examination point of view. But I'll tell you one interesting fact. If you are reading class-wise, you are doing it wrong. Why? Because when you look at geography as a subject for UPSC, broadly it can be divided into 3 sections, or rather 4 sections. Broadly, it can be divided into 4 sections. One section is this physical geography, which includes, geomorphology, the landforms, climate, oceans, all this part. Second part is the bioenvironment. So soils, vegetation, species, ये सब आता है. उसमें climate change और ये सब भी आएगा. Next is human geography. Right? So human geography में the discipline, the evolution of geography, settlements, urbanization, all these things, economic resources, and all this will come. Right? Now this जितना अभी डिस्कस हुआ, ये जो पार्ट है ना, this is the core of geography, theoretical part. Once you understand this, then the last part becomes important. Indian geography, right? There's a specific Indian geography. NCERT है ना, India. So it is the application of concepts and theories of geography to India. So when you read Indian geography, it is not, I mean, think about it. Indian geography is not something that you start reading from the first and you understand everything. First, you are supposed to know physical geography and human geography so that you can read Indian geography meaningfully. It is because the application of those concepts to India. Problem kya hota na? I don't know why NCERT people, they have their minds, why they did, I don't know. If you start from 9th, it is India, majorly. 10th standard wala bhi India hai. 11th standard mein you get fundamentals of physical geography. And 11th or 12th, you get this human geography ka NCERT. So when you start reading a subject like geography, first you should read 11th standard NCERT, fundamentals of physical geography. Uske baad you should read human geography. And then you should read India, 9th standard wala. Fir India se shuru karo aap. Ulta kaise jaoge? Right? If you read Himalayas and everything, vegetation, everything. अरे लेकिन आपको पता ही नहीं है कि उसके पीछे geography क्या है? What is the point? Getting the point? So always go in that sequence. Now coming back. So that is why I'm saying, what I've done is I've picked up from NCERT only. So there are three, because they kind of, these thinkers, they kind of help us understand the conceptualization of human geography as a subject. First is Rajyaseva. Now, why this is relevant? When you will hear all this, you will appreciate itna ek point, how it is related to current affairs. See, what he says, human geography is synthetic study of relationship between humans and earth. It's very simple, right? But I'm not getting too deep into it, but I'll tell you something very interesting. Rajyaseva was German. And in human geography, he defined human geography as, human geography is a synthetic study. Synthetic matlab? जैसे integrative कहा था ना, synthetic, which creates its own subject matter. It interrelates the concepts and creates subject matter. So synthetic study of relationship between humans and earth. Fine. I'll give you one example how this, आपको अगर थोड़ा भी ऐसा लग रहा है कि नहीं ये human geography क्यों पढ़ रहे हैं और उसका relevance क्या है. One example I'll give. Rajyaseva gives a concept of this may not be very relevant from the point of view of your GS syllabus, but I'm just giving you an example. Rajyaseva was German. There is a German word he uses. He says Lebensraum. What is Lebensraum? He says every state is like an organism, right? Every state is an organism. So not just nation state we are speaking of. We say city of Pune. Anywhere where people are together, having same identity, right? So every state is an organism. Like a baby, human baby grows over a period of time. And while it is growing, it needs a lot of resources. Its demand for resources goes on increasing. Similarly, when a state cannot remain static, the state will grow and it will need more and more resources. This one thought was what led to, this was the thought which impressed Hitler. And that is why he wanted Germany to grow. Now, if you see Russia, you see NATO, what is it? They want to grow. China, South China Sea. See, there's this, what is that? Pipeline, what is it called? Belt and Road Initiative. BRI, right? Or China-Pakistan Economic or CPEC, China-Pakistan Economic. What is this? You as a state are growing and you want more and more resources for that growth. That is why you expand. You may expand territorially, economically, militarily, or resource wise, like this. You get more and more resources, you feed yourself more. That is what China is doing, right? China has entered Africa. Yes, for this lithium and all this new rare earths, right? Semiconductors, the basic material which is required. Now, this is one simple example how a theory given in human geography helps us look at the present. It's very simple. You apply this Lebensraum concept. Ratzel says state is an organism, it needs more resources. Over a period of time, it's going to grow that hunger for resources and it's going to grow. That's what every state tries to do, right? It tries to maximize its resource, right? So this is just one example that I gave you, that human geography can have very significant impact on our understanding of how we relate to Earth, as well as, and look at overall humanity. We are talking about what is the footprint today. Our carbon or ecological footprint is 1.5. So we are, the rate at which we are using resources, we are actually using resources with a rate that it's like 1.5 Earth. So we are going to deplete everything very fast, right? That is why now look at what Elon Musk is trying to do, or NASA is trying to do, or ISRO is trying to do. We are going to look at Mars, Moon. It's an organism, right? We are growing. Humans, societies are growing constantly. So Ratzel, right? So let us go ahead. Next is simple. Now Ratzel का basic thought आपको बताया मैंने. Second is Ellen Semple. Now she was a staunch environmental determinist. Staunch environmental determinism. So you should remember this word, environmental determinism or geographical determinism. So what is this? Or it is simply called as determinism. It is simply called as determinism. What is the meaning of this word? The basic concept. There are three terms which are given here. Just you can say determinism, environmental determinism, or geographical determinism. Right? So this is basically the concept given by Ellen Semple. Now, what is the meaning of this? This is one of the foundational school of thought in human geography. What is this determinism? This is exactly what I told you, that environment is dominant. We agree to it or not. In most of our choices, over a long period of time, you will see that the footprint of geography cannot be unseen. So geography, overtly or covertly, is influencing our choices, right, over a period of time. So human societies generally grow in response to geography. So geographical determinism. So this is most applicable, for example, if you go to Northeast, right? Terrain वैसा है तो farming आपको terrace farming ही करना पड़ता है, shifting cultivation ही करना पड़ता है. You can't have flat, you can't have rail. We are trying to fight the nature by constructing more roads, railways, airways, and all these things. But nature does landslides, say, earthquakes, say, right? It tries to bring us back on track. So determinism, where nature is dominant. Clear? This is Ellen Semple. So what she says, she focuses on dynamic relationship between humans and the unstable Earth. So they say Earth is unstable. It's tectonically active. So it is going to influence you. And you have to fall in line, right? Otherwise it is going to strike. Getting the point? So Ellen Semple, according to her, human geography focuses on dynamic relationship between humans. Dynamic, it is not static, it is dynamic. It's constantly changing. And the unstable Earth. Now, Ellen Semple was determinism, right? The third and the most important, Paul Vidal de la Blache. Again, आपको एग्जाम के लिए ये याद रखने की जीएस के लिए जरूरत नहीं है. If you are from geography optional, this is must for you. But for GS, sorry, just remembering the thought is good. So Vidal de la Blache emphasizes the synthesis of physical laws and human interactions. Forget about what he's saying. I'm telling you one simple thing. Possibilism. So human geography में the two major schools of thought is determinism versus possibilism. Determinism is this. Possibilism, Vidali Lavlash. What is possibilism? He says he doesn't agree to determinism. He says that it is not that nature dictates all your choices. He says that nature gives you space for choices, out of which some are more probable and some are less. Understand? What he's saying is geography gives you a basket of choices that you can make. But there are certain choices which are favored by nature, right? Some are more probable and some are less probable. Ultimately, the decision has to be taken by humans. That is what he's saying. Ultimately, the decision has to be taken by humans, right? So he shifts the locus of control from nature to humans, that we make choices. Determinism में क्या था? आप कुछ भी कर लो, you are basically following the plan of nature. That was determinism. That is the difference, right? So this is possibilism, Vidal de Lavlache, right? Emphasizes the synthesis of physical laws and human interactions. Done? Let us go ahead. यहाँ तक किसी को कुछ डाउट है?